So Xbox Series S game file sizes are seriously impressive, so let's talk about it. Okay, so before I get started, I want to say that I really don't have much of a script for this video, so I don't really know how long it's going to be. I just saw some pretty cool news for the Xbox Series S, and I figured I'd hop on and discuss it, so let's get started. So over the past week or so, we've started to see more news regarding the Series S, and it's looking like it's going to be a pretty great 1080p and 1440p console, but there is actually one thing I've seen people concerned about on Twitter, and that's that 512GB SSD. And the fact that it's only 364 or 367, I can't really remember, I have to double check, but it's only like 364 gigabytes of space that you can actually download games on the Series S. And this is especially concerning for some people because we're headed into next gen and games are only really set to get bigger at this point. But the Series S does have one thing working in its favor, and I don't think a lot of people are taking it into consideration, and that's file compression. You see, the big difference between the base Xbox One and the Xbox One X is that the file sizes were pretty different for a lot of games, and this is because the Xbox One base model didn't have to load in higher fidelity textures at higher resolutions, so it just cut those textures out and cut that higher resolution out, and it renders at whatever 720, 900, or 1080p. Whereas on the Xbox One X, it was rendering high-res textures and really high resolution, and because of this, it would generally take up more space on your hard drive on your Xbox One X. But this is something that's really going to work in favor of the Xbox Series S. Because as we know, Xbox is marketing the Series S as the 1440p console, as opposed to the Xbox Series X, which is your 4K console up to 8K, which nobody cares about 8K right now. And since the Series S is the lower powered console, it's going to be targeting that 1440p, that 1080p, and it's going to be doing it with low fidelity textures, which means that these games are going to be taking up less space on your console. And I even have some pretty cool examples of this thanks to Twitter and one of the Xbox news pages that I follow. And the first example I have is Gears 5, which was personally one of my favorite games of the generation. And apparently Gears 5 is only 39 gigabytes on Series S. And that's compared to Series X where it's 64 gigabytes. Another example is Dirt 5, and this game only takes up 56 gigabytes of space on the Series S, and that's compared to 72.5 gigabytes on the Series X. And according to GameSpot, Forza Horizon 4 on the Series S shaves off just about 13 gigabytes down to 71.4 gigabytes from 84.6 gigabytes on the Series X. And I think the most impressive of all is Sea of Thieves, and that is only 17 gigabytes on the Series S. That's 17 gigabytes of space compared to Series X where it's 46 gigabytes. And that is that's over 60% difference in file size. That's crazy. And this is something that I think will definitely be in Series S's favor headed into next gen. And I think it's something that Microsoft can really take advantage of because their first party studios can really focus on that hardware and compressing the file sizes for that specific hardware. And this will help by not forcing people into going out and shelling out that, $220 for that expanded storage. And this is great because I know most people, like myself, instead of buying that $200 expansion drive, they're just going to plug in their external hard drive or external SSD via USB, store games on there, and then swap them to the internal when they're ready to play them. But that's really all I had to say. I just wanted to make a quick video and talk about this because I had just saw it on Twitter, and I think I saw a GameSpot article about it too, and how the file sizes were much smaller in Series S, and honestly it was something that I never even considered. And really this kind of just makes me more interested in picking up a Series S as a companion console maybe sometime in the future, or maybe just have it as a console for out in the living room when I'm just relaxing on the couch, and then I keep my Series X in my game room. Either way, I think Xbox is carving out a really nice space for this Series S, and that's great to see because I think a lot of people right now could really use an affordable next gen console. But what do you guys think? Are you considering picking up a Series S? And let me know in the comments if you are. Leave a like if you liked the video, and please subscribe if you would be so kind. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.